everything in their power because they are just one map away from being eliminated. They have to win this if they want to keep their Iceland dreams alive. The pressure is definitely on. Over to you, Mitch and Jonas.
Thank you very much, Sue. You know, Jonas, what's interesting about this to me is that, like, the Reyna in a way almost plays like a sentinel on the A side. She'll solo defend it. You know, when you're talking about especially a Cypher, the information you can garner is certainly valuable, but I find it very curious that we're seeing a Cypher. Obviously, it's the composition that we've seen before, but just I haven't gotten the opportunity to cast Gambit on Icebox before. So it's really interesting to me that they actually play with a Sage and with a Cypher, because from what I saw in North America, for a long time, it was a choice between the two. You can hold down the tube, the mid area, use your camera on A, but they're going for both.
Yeah, and they don't have much flank protection here, so that's also something that Gambit now should be aware of, that with no Cypher, no cameras or anything, they can easily get flanked on here, so they have to be very careful about that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a factor. We'll see how that plays into the later game as BBL will start out on the defensive side for now. And if you're Gambit and you're going off of a 13-3 victory, I'll say, you're probably not expecting the same kind of dominant showing here. That is a once in a day, let's say, performance for some of these teams. But when it comes, that's aggressive. Russ, he's got his dash. Takes so much damage. His teammates were reloading as he went around, so no support. And well, it's going to force him to play a bit more passive in the rest of this round. But this map, it's so good for Gambit. I really find it hard to see BBL bouncing back and winning.
Yeah, and you see they're taking some information here with the drone, aiming downwards to check all angles at once. Doesn't spot anything, so that kind of gives them the idea that they're about to go in here as the Viper wall comes out. Sage wall comes out as well, but there's already some counter utility here from the snake bite by the enemy Viper, and this is what makes it so hard to plant on this side, and that's why they're actually deciding to go back here and go for A. And Cypher has been guarding the flank this whole time. See, and it takes out Russ as well. So now suddenly this is like turned upside down. They're going for A.
Yeah, I like that. The diversity, the ability to quickly switch it up, caused by that flank and map control that they had. Aslan, he's getting in there with the first, but now caught in the open. He'll be taken down. Lego wants to walk into the orb and spot.
Oh no!
Good night and sweet dreams. Lego gets out of there. 5 seconds left. Now they're covering the plant aggressively, making sure it comes into play. Man advantage is there. Damage is done to AIM. Lego's got to be the big player. His heel's out of the round now. 30 seconds left, and AIM falls. One shot. It's good enough to take Chronicle down, but he'll need another double. And as he goes up the rope, Shados is holding it from just below the wall. A sneaky little angle that grants Gambit the first. That is 1-0. The pistol going their way.
And I really like what they did here. Like, they showed a lot of confidence in going for B. They used the Viper utility, they walled it off, but since the snake bite from the Viper had already landed on the default plant, they already knew that they lost their window of opportunity for when you can plant, because there's so much utility you can use to hit that corner because the Viper wall this close. So they made a correct decision of turning around, and then obviously with Cypher holding the flank there, you saw exactly what happened. He killed Russ while he tried to go for a cheeky play in the middle.
Exactly. We talk about flank protection, the lack of it for BBL, and in the first round, we see the flank protection from Gambit. That was nice. Man, the openings here, realistically, BBL walking out of here with 2 to 3 kills would be golden. That's what they want, because they've got a very low investment. And taking ranged fights certainly not going to be favorable. The flank from Nats is perfect. Coming through middle, Chronicle catches one down below, and AIM is left with 10 HP. And if they can avoid losing anyone, that would be perfect. And look, on this range, with 10 HP, nice shot. It was close.
Yeah. I mean, from like a highlight reel point of view, I'd really like to see that shot actually being hit, but you know, it's he had a helmet, so he will be fine.
Couple of shields to dampen the blow.
Yeah, nothing too crazy about this round. They're probably gonna play a bonus round here, Gambit, because their economy is pretty good and they didn't lose too many players, so you can see they actually have 2,800 and 3,500 credits on the board, so they can actually sacrifice a full round here and still be fine for the next round. So it's gonna be crucial for BBL to win this, because they're slightly advantageous in the weaponry.
Yeah, they have got the upper hand for sure. Only the 3 rifles to play with. Defo up on top. He's being spotted. I think now it's time to just duck down. The shock dart's going to come through and deal a little bit of damage. Oh, aim. He's got the angle. He's backing off. Another to come around, and he's not ready. He was hoping for the wide swing, and there it is eventually. Given to him on a golden platter. It's a 2v5. It's a 1v5 with Chronicle having to ace this round to get it for Gambit. He said the BBL needed this round. Well, they almost got it flawlessly.
Yeah, but we've seen Chronicle before.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything before this round is over, but most likely he's gonna get taken out by Kero there, his Silva diff counterpart. But not really a very scary situation for Gambit here as they played that bonus round. I also like their approach of going into the tube there, because Icebox is famous for having a lot of long-range fights. So when you're playing with a Spectre, you don't really want to take the fight to the long range, where people with Vandals have the upper hand. So I think they chose the correct play there, but AIM just played those angles really well.
That's what it's all about. Holding down inside a tube, you've either got to be blocking off control and using your utility to keep them back, or you better be damn ready for a fight. It's one of the most important parts of this map. If they get control, they can flank it out so easily. Aslan, he's looking for the fight. He is ready to hold it, but now hearing the steps up close, it's a little bit too late when he falls back. Lego all the way on the site. Well, he's going to be the sole defender for now. He has a wall up, but what can he really do with it at this point? Still hearing steps outside of B, but they have absolutely no confirmation on where this push is going to be coming in. And look at how paranoid Kero has to be. He's clearing the tube, and underneath, he's stuck in this position. The lack of a sentinel or a sage wall there definitely harming them in this. And oh, that spray could have come in. It really could have.
That was so close. Russ tries to spray some more, but the Viper Ball is not helping him here. Redgar probably gonna play for a... Oh, there we go. Now this is why flank protection can be so good here. Gambit, they have two Cypher troops behind them.
Yeah.
They should be completely fine, and Nats gets Russ there. He's still playing on site, dancing around inside his cage, finding these cheeky little angles. AIM though trying to find him, but it doesn't really help.
Oh man, that was such a nice round. Like Nat's dancing through his cage in a wall. His barrel got spotted, but they just couldn't find him afterwards. And I love that point you made, Jonas, about the flank protection, because it is so important. Generally, when you're having a Viper go back and play those post plants, you're gonna have to commit a player to watching his back. So now your frontal defense is so much weaker, but they had a strong defense, so much so that they can allow Nats to play more aggressive. Now, typically, I wouldn't have put him up there purely because if he dies...
I was gonna say,
yeah.
like, yeah, I wanted to make that exact point, that if he dies, both the Cypher trips go out.
Your flank protection stops existing. But still, it's a nice... I think that can be refined a little bit more, but the idea there, the concept is very, very nice.
100% agree.
Oh, Russ, he's coming out of that orb. He ran straight through it, took to the decay, the benefit of the dash, giving you that confidence that you don't care about your HP. One shot from the off, and the man advantage is yours. Now it's all about those post plants again for Gambit, but the flank is coming in. There's two players who are coming right up behind them. The camera not yet spotted them, and well, they might just be in trouble here. Aslan gets spotted out. One kill for his trouble, but they don't know about the second. It's AIM up behind, good for one and maybe a second. If Defo wasn't so quick. The spike is ticking away, but still plenty of time. Never mind. BBL, they lose that one quickly.
I feel like BBL here, they kind of didn't expect them to play that aggressive on defense there. You saw like they're looking so confident. Defo basically just wide swung after the spike is planted to take out Aslan there on the flank. And Nats was just having a field day standing right next to the spike. And he did that last round too. I mean, he's just like, this is my spike. Don't go near it.
Stay away from my spike. I like it. 4-1. Gambit in the lead, facing up against a pretty weak buy and already making it weaker. But that ultimate that comes in from AIM, I love the idea there, right? You fight early to try and get up on top of the containers to ult. But that didn't work out. Now AIM is left. But with a Spectre and an ult, I mean, you just leave the side alone at this point, don't you? Going through it is going to be dangerous for your health. And that Spectre basically becomes an operator in a lot of circumstances.
Yeah, there's no reason for Gambit to push this. They can keep one person holding the ult just in case something mad happens, but there's no reason for them to push into this Viper ult, especially playing against a low buy. Redguard just smokes the middle here to make it easier for them to pass through. Also, a lot harder for them to gather info on where they're going. But they should assume that the push is coming on A here, as the Viper ult is pretty strong at the moment.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to commit to that Hunter's Fury to try and stop the pushes, but Aslan's already here. Viper ult comes into play, and spamming it. Oh, God. Spamming it with a Sheriff ain't ideal, but with an off, usually not. Defo saw the tracers and quickly took the shot, leaving Russ already popped his ult. But this could be ideal. You dash into that and try to use your right clicks. How Noisy did it enough to me in the playtest. It's annoying. I'll give him that. He's going to wait for AIM to come in and hopefully get some form of a trade wall still for post-prime benefit of using the ult. But with Russ going down, now the round is pretty much lost at this point. 1 kill for his trouble, and then he's going to be pushed down and pushed out.
Yeah, he's probably just going to try to do as much economical damage as possible here. Maybe get a few more refrags. See, there we go. Shadow's taken out as well. He can get one more possibly. If he gets to take the operator out, that would be a tremendous effort, but gets killed by Nat. And this is looking like a similar fashion to how we saw Ascent, to be honest.
Yeah, at the moment it is for sure. And on the attack side, it's scarier because Gambit are in that spot where they control the pacing of these rounds, right? They can condition you and then play it slow as they have been, respectful of Viper ultimates and utility. But when they feel like it, they can just turn that pace all the way up to 100, and then you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, look at Redgar. His combat score is 51, and most people would be like, "Oh my God, he's got no kills." But I wouldn't knew, but the amount of utility usage that like gives his team space, like that's why Viper's so good on Ascent Icebox right now, especially with the recent buffs, and which is also why, especially Twitch chat, should stop looking at the scoreboard.
Thank you, Jonas. I'm going to record that and play it every time someone asks me why I got 3 kills in a ranked game.
Yeah, it doesn't always work that way, Mitch.
No. You said enough.
Yeah. Okay, you're leaving that part out, I guess. Whoops, I cut that clip short.
I cut it in the middle of a sentence. Don't know how that happened.
Oh, so
ran out of data. That's all. 5-1. Gambit have the man advantage, and they got the map control advantage as well. Redgar's pushed all the way through Tube. And look, we talk about flank protection. You would love to have some right now, wouldn't you? Lego caught off guard and destroyed. And especially when the Viper orb is down in mid, you have to be so conscious of that push. A big gap in the defense, and one they get punished for is Kiro. Oh, he knows he's baiting him into a fight, but Redgar's too strong. Taking that kill in the Battle of the Operators goes to Defo. Gambit just can't be stopped at this point. Aslan, the last alive, and clutching onto hopes for BBL. This is starting to really look like the previous map now. Buy round after buy round falling apart, and Redgar with the 3K. That's something that's going to keep them awake at night. The fact that they've allowed a player to just shift walk through Tube and backstab like that.
Yeah, and so here's the problem, right? They already lost one player early in the round, so this forces them to rotate around their positioning slightly because there are so many spots to hold here. You can't hold Tube and under Tube at the same time. And so they basically made a priority to rotate around and focus on B. And then this is a timing thing, right? Suddenly you have a sneaky snake on the behind you coming up because first of all, you don't have a Cypher, so there's already a lot of space that you need to cover by actually holding the angles. And then second, when you only have 4 players alive, you just have to make priorities.
I do enjoy that as well, sneaky snake on Viper with the snake bites and such. Nice little
Don't you think that was intentional?
100%. I mean, you wrote that weeks ago.
Big brain Soberman. A big brain Soberman.
Oh my God. You need to make
Have
that
you heard
song.
that song? No, there is a song.
I've not heard it.
I'll send it to you.
Send
later.
it to me.
I'll send.
We gotta listen to that one. Why didn't you sing that at First Strike?
It came after.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. Making sense now. The pause comes in here, and I'm presuming this is a tactical for BBL. Otherwise, I would be very surprised. Well, it doesn't look like we've got that info, but yeah. Presumably tactical for BBL as it comes to an end pretty quickly, and realistically, it's about time to call one. Maybe the previous round was about time to call one, considering the fact that now they don't really have the weapons to work with.
Yeah, it's always a questionable decision on when is the correct time to do a timeout. If a team has a lot of momentum, you kind of want to stop them and just slow down everything by causing a timeout. But there might be another reason that we're not aware of. They do have 3 Sheriffs and 2 Spectres though. Chronicle once again trying to find some info here with the drone. Aim hears the drone. It's probably going to try to avoid it as much as possible without making sound. It gets spotted. Needs to get out of there. Decides not to do much about it. Defo probably going to look for an opener here.
Not finding anything though. Wall goes up. Here's again where they need to be conscious of that Viper utility. And they're going to place a wall that makes it very hard to get that, unless you have the lineup. Hunter's Fury good for a kill. Maybe it's so close. But 2 tags. He's going to have to settle for it. The heal comes up for Redguard. He's playing post plant, so he doesn't give a damn. He's happy enough with this. Again, you've got those tripwires watching the back, but a player holding it as well. Very, very passive post plant.
And it's Cypher this time.
He's not playing aggressive. You love to see it.
Yeah, this is textbook performance. This is so it's so hard to push into. Like, how do you deal with this?
You really can't, man. They got all the post-fight utility. They've got an op. There's going to be snake bites raining in a second as well. You're not getting this diffused unless you get a lot of kills very, very quickly. Russ starts it out well with the first aim under threat, but the time's already gone. There's no way they get it done, and even though the kills go their way, they will not carry their lives through to the next round. Good damage done, though.
Did Nats rotate all the way around? Didn't catch that how he ended up on site there. I wonder if he actually pushed around.
Oh, it looks like he just walked up.
No, he actually... It's funny when we go like, yeah, ideally we would like to see the Cypher holding the tripwires there in the back. And we're like, oh, finally he's listening to us. And then like 5 seconds later, he's crab walked into the cage on site.
Yeah. I think though at that point they kind of realized, all right, there's been no noise, there's no one coming. Like, okay, this is probably just full commit from the spawn.
Yeah,
so
for
you
sure.
can definitely make those calls, but it is always funny when he's just charged. Like the other round we saw, he didn't have that info. He just ran forward and started playing around cages.
Yeah.
But hey, we talk about the confidence, and that's where some of the strict protocols kind of go out the window, right?
Absolutely. If you're feeling confident and you know you can duel anyone on the server, suddenly a lot of choices that seemed bad originally can suddenly be really good. But you're gonna look really silly if it doesn't.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? You'll always be like, oh my god, look at all the kills he got. But then when he messes up, everyone's like, oh, what a noob! What a noob! Why would you do that?
Yeah. Oh!
That's it.
He's pushing the Viper.
He's gotten behind him.
He just got through. He's got through.
They've got control as well over towards kitchen. They've walked down the halls. This is dangerous. I mean, aim's under threat. They know exactly where he is. There's no, like, he's put his snake bites. There's no way they can push me. I've got it. Oh no! They've walked past each other. Now Aim's coming back up behind him and he takes Stats down. Oh, the timing on that is terrible. Aim's walked away with the kill. That Viper ult still up, is dealing damage, decaying. If he sprays through or drops it, he could be on for free kills, but no, it's going to go down too late. And so those players, they make it away. They're crossing on mid. Russ looks to catch them, but he takes a knife to the belly for it. 10 seconds are coming up on. They've got to be quick. They've got to go fast. If that spike is dropped, they are dead. The dash even used to get on site quickly, and there it is. Just enough time. The plant comes in, and Gambit now retreat for post plants. A 3v3. This has turned into BBL's favor very quickly.
Oh, but Defo is holding this operator angle up close. Super fearless. Trying to maybe block off something here. DLL still has his smoke, but Shadows decides to take the duel. So Karo is left alone, but Chronicle from the back. And it looks so sketchy at some point, and then they just pulled it back to their favor. I mean, that the Viper ultimate there was just... Oh, it's so insane to watch, right? They're spending 30 seconds like dancing around each other inside the smoke. The only difference is that Nats has 1 HP while doing it.
Yeah, and then he ends up getting flanked as well. That must be so confusing for him from his perspective. Like he walks in.
Yeah. I just came from there.
How is he there? Oh man, but again, you're seeing some of the problems here from BBL. Like in that situation, 3v3, they just fall apart. Like they want to put down the smoke at one stage to go for the defuse. Then they decide, no, we'll take the fights. But the teammates already peaked. One went through and took the fight on Defo. No trade there. Like there's so many small issues. They're the micro things, but they are making a macro impact.
Oh, did you see that? He tagged the Cypher there with the drone, but it didn't check the Sage. So he doesn't know that there are two there. They're gonna boost up with the Sage wall. Is Kara gonna know this? He tries to get something done, but gets refragged quickly by Shadows. He does have his res. We're probably gonna look at a res here. Waits for his teammate to probably hold the angle with the operator so he can rest more safely. Oh, this is scary.
Oh, Aslan's got the kill. No res now possible, but Shadows taking one. Kiro gets revived. Man advantage for BBL. It's extended further with the death of Chronicle, a big player in a lot of these rounds. And now they'll look for the B site, but they're coming up against a Viper. It's never easy to push into these. Aim peeks the backside. Timing is again sublime. Machado's getting one. The res comes in and they'll push forward. Okay, they can get that wall up as well. It's going to give them a lot of cover to get the spike planted. 30 seconds on the clock. Only one man advantage. This is definitely winnable. Ulti comes in and Shadows around the side is good for damage as well on a second. And Ace already.
Oh my
and
God.
it could be the 6K. The flank of Russ. The last opportunity for BBL around that they must win. It should already be theirs. He gets in. That Viper ultimate's dropping. Russ is running away. There's 6 seconds left. The plant has to come in now and Russ knows it. And they don't even fake it. Russ has won the round by himself, an ace from Shadows, and it's not enough. How has he gotten away with this?
Oh. That is so unfortunate. I mean, that's where the mind games come in, right? Russ played that really well. He waited as long as possible. He knows that the plant takes 4 seconds. And then the fake comes. A triple fake by Shadows. But Russ, I mean, this is a mind game, right? You don't know if he stuck the plant there, this scenario could have been so different, but he was confident that he was being baited right now.
Yeah.
Also losing his 6K.
I mean, putting himself in a better position as well. Russ played it really well because he either let... Oh, well, hold on. We'll talk about that in a little bit because Russ, he's wanting to continue on this streak and his teammates are there to trade out. Okay. Nice start again from BBL. They're starting to show up, and is it too little too late? I mean, defensive side Icebox, they can still get 4 rounds on the board. It'll give them some kind of hope, but they have to win these rounds. And looking at how close the previous, and what was it, 2v5? It shouldn't have come nearly that close.
Yeah, and now they're playing very differently than before. Now they play more of a buddy system. Suddenly they had 3 people pushing aggressively on B. Jet was holding a much harder angle than before, and chose to play a more standard refrag type of... Oh, you better be careful. Okay, we gotta talk about the confidence of swinging there with 10 HP.
I mean, we already know Gambit are certainly a confident team at the moment, and, well, it might be backfiring a little bit, but considering we're in an 8-3 spot, BBL, they've still got a long road to go. Looking much better in these last couple. I mean, before this, it's just been Gambit getting a site. They go for their post plants, their passive plays, and then they don't even need to use them. Because the second that they're like, oh, right, we've got the flank, we've got our mollies lined up, we're ready for this, and then BBL just all die. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess I won't do my thing then.
Here.
Yeah, because we saw several times, even without utility, they seemed to have better positioning in terms of refragging and holding angles, so that even when the bomb is planted and you don't have any utility left, they still have played it better in most situations so far.
Coming into this round, a minute 30, Aslan's walled off. He's in the corner and good for one, but where does he go from here? Runs around through the Viper wall and gets taken down. Russ good to trade and spotted the spike in the open, the shock dart in for damage. Russ wants a little bit more. Oh, this is beautiful. Left all onto Defo, and with his HP so low, his ultimately popped. It's the final round of the half. He's gonna move up. Oh no, not up. In fact, around into middle. Hasn't got that spike, of course. They know that it's down. But maybe that's why they'll suspect him to still be coming from there. But it looks like they're conscious of the flank. They looked out there for a moment. All this comes down to is the timing. Can he get up there and find a free kill? If he does, it becomes winnable again. And yes, he can. A side swipe onto aim. 40 seconds left as Defo just shift walks all the way back around. Now he's out of range for the sound, so he's happy to run, and that spike will look to be retrieved. Oh, you have to feel bad for Kiro now. You know there's a jet out there, a knife soon to come your way, but from where? He's waited so long. This guy could be absolutely anywhere, and they're going to run right into each other. Defo has to hit the headshot. He's clearing the wrong angle, and despite one to the belly, Kiro survives on 50 HP. 8-4 we go.
Switching sides.
And that was just down to milliseconds of timing as well on what angle to hold it. He was looking at the corner just a second ago. Now I will say, interestingly, they played these last 2 rounds that they won, they've played very differently than before. They choose one site and they just heavily man up on it. Like, they play a buddy system. As soon as they heard the Sova drone, the ultimate came in from Kero to counter it straight away, which I think is really smart because it's quite common to understand where the Sova drone's from. So this is risky because you can actually take the Sova out, but you also stop him from droning. So countering a Sova casting the drone with your ult is actually really smart.
Well, we come into the second half, and I have to say, expectations are, well, they're getting better for BBL. They've got to keep going. They lose out this pistol, the chances of them winning go down massively. We know that they're not too good in anti-ecos anyways. Defo, first one to deal damage, falls back for more, and well, no, he keeps on going. He's just running around the corner. Okay. Yeah, the confidence is there. They're feeling this one at BBL. They don't get a moment to breathe. Leaving Lego by himself. He's going to even commit the wall to this one. It feels like a waste of credits at that point.
Yeah, it's a question of a decision there to wall. I'm not sure what the thought process is, but I mean, yeah, not sure. I think in most situations when you're in a 1 versus 4 or 1 versus 5, unless your plan is to do economical damage, but you know, they mostly have pistols, so I felt like it was slightly questionable to use the wall there, because it can be really, really useful when you're playing a force buy or a semi-eco. Speaking of semi-ecos, we have 3 shares on the board.
Normally you'd say that you don't really expect anything from these buys, but at this late stage of the game, being behind as they are with another map still to play if they want to be winning this series and staying alive, remember, this is an elimination match. You need to do damage. You need to set the tone.
But that's why the Sage wall was so questionable, though. Like, imagine if they get in a situation here now with where they could have really needed a Sage wall.
Yeah, 100%. It can help the plan. It seemed like a weird gamble, weird commitment of resources with the round that was coming up, but hey, look, this has started out well. Sheriff shot, quickly punished. Back down to a 4v4. Russ dancing on the edge of this tripwire has been spotted and dealt with as well. Gambit not letting anything go against them, and that's a classic day here. Just chuck a shock dart down towards him. Why not?
Defo, though, showing his sniper abilities once again. Woo! Yep. Quickly dealt with. 10-4 on the board. Similar fashion to the previous match, and BBL are left in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, understatement of the year, maybe. For BBL, like, so I'll say they've been together, what, 8-9 months with very little roster changes coming around. Obviously, as I said, they lost CNED, which was the biggest blow, and I think the most recent big blow that they've had. The problem for BBL, they should be able to fight back against the negativity that starts to set into a lot of teams when you're this far behind, purely because they've been together so long. But it doesn't help to really get rid of those feelings that this is elimination. You could be going out right now in just a couple of rounds, but here's the opening duel. That's what they need. Defo taken out, and Shadows very nearly falls as well.
Yeah, and they're probably gonna look to commit to this site here. Don't have a Viper wall so far. But the plant comes down. Or does it? Shadon jumps on top of the box. Kero gets 2. But the plant finally goes down, though.
It's good. It's a good. Oh, with a Spectre. My God, Nat, stop it. Leave them alone. If you're feeling bad now in the 1v2, you must be feeling even worse. Nats has got closer, but Kiro closes it with another double. 10-5. BBL, they'll hold on to hope that they can pull this one back. It's a long road, but not quite the daunting task of the previous map. 5 rounds to equalize, and the only problem I see for them, Jonas, is that what that Spectre did to them, really. Now they come up against what should be another strong buy from Gambit. The previous round was a bonus.
Yeah.
This one is not.
Yeah, they played a bunch of light shields to make sure that they can fully commit into this round, with the exception of maybe a Cypher trip. I'm not sure. Okay, so they don't have full utility here, but they're pretty close, and they also have the operator on defo. So, gotta be careful here. Might have to use some utility to make sure that Jet's not holding the angle that you want.
Enemy tag.
Well, the tag comes out. I have to say, at this point, Gambit, no pressure on them. They're not feeling it at all. I like that angle from Nats. I love it so much, but he's only good for the first. Aslan up close took his crosshair away from the herd. So BBL can close in on the side. Spam from Chronicle, shock dart to come over. No recon to play with, but here it comes. It's back up and online, and this is where that Viper wall can, well, not really have as much impact for you. But one well-placed recon can tear your plans apart. Here it comes. It's coming in.
Here it comes.
Shock dart. Oh, okay. It doesn't actually land fully over on the side, and there's a Viper all cancelled out before it can even bloom. The classic, not good for the kill. Rust was 40 HP, but a bit of a body block there from Lego saves him. The 2v2. This is a winnable post plan for BBL, but they need to check the flank and be conscious of Defo, who's coming up behind, off in hand, and now he's got the timing. He's on his way through, not ready for someone on the left, and the quick scope doesn't hit. Shadows now on the back foot, the dash out from Russ on 7 HP, but he's got the information. He's going to go for the defuse, but he can be peeked from above. They can updraft onto him. There's so much that can happen, and, well, Shadows, he's in trouble, but maybe not. I thought Russ had it. The time is just too tight.
Oh, that is so close as well. He still manages to do a lot of economical damage though. But at the end of the day, nice to see BBL starting to catch up some momentum now. Kind of changing up their playstyle a bit here, playing more close together. Yeah.
They delay the time perfectly. Overall, 10-6 again. I'm not jumping on the believing train for BBL just yet, but they're starting to string those rounds together, and this is where it becomes tough. If they win coming into the next buy round, they're back. They're in this to win it, and for a map that's so strong for Gambit, that is not a position they want to put themselves in. For now, though, Gambit only have the Sheriffs, so expectations for them are very low considering the lead they have.
Trying to make something after Shadows gets Russ already. That's a huge pick to start off this round. Chronicle pushing as well, but Aslan takes Shadows out, so we're back in a 4 versus 4. Lego still not finding a way to plant the spike here. Finally get his planted, see if he can actually get it down here. He does indeed. That makes it a lot more difficult for Gambit now. And the rest comes out on Russ as well. This is suddenly looking a lot better here from BBL.
Oh yeah. Oh yes it is. But again, they're only up against the pistols, so it's almost expected. And they only lose the one rifle in the end, so economy's built up that little bit.
For sure. I mean, if they lost that round, we would be really worried. But now 10-7. Slowly started to get close here, but then again, it was against Sheriff Eco, so we're gonna see now on the double full buy. This is where it starts to get really dicey.
Yep.
I remember all the time we watched the NA casters, and every time they would cast 100 Thieves, they'd be like, it's getting dicey.
Oh, Defo, that's so nasty. Here's the drone above, takes the timing, and Gambit, they're out with 4 kills. We barely had time to take a breath at the start of this round, and BBL, oh, they've got to be feeling devastated. A 3K from Nats again. He's been so good on that Cypher. Never mind on the Cypher. He's just been so good. Full stop. 11-7. We were talking about it, right? This was the round that they needed over on BBL. The buy round to get them back into it. they've just been shut out.
Yeah, and this happened on Ascent too. Like, they had one eco against them, and then the round after, they just hit them with full-on aggression, and it seemed like it was probably not that expected from BBL here. Like, even, like, you hate to be in that situation when a jet dashes you while you're droning. It's never happened to me. No, no, no. No way, right?
At least it's not like a Cypher just pushing, you know? At least if it's the dash, you've got a little bit of an excuse.
For sure, for sure.
Or, the other upside,
they can
at least it's
back.
not poster knifing you while you're in your drone.
Boaster's too busy blocking projectiles anyway.
Yeah,
so.
headbutting them. I saw it. I saw it. He's practiced IRL as well. That's the beautiful thing, you know?
It's he's ready for the next meta. That's all I can say.
And that's one thing, actually, I guess we could talk about that we didn't see too much here was like post-plant impact from Gambit on the attack.
Yeah.
We saw those lineups, and it felt like every time we're like, oh, here's the lineup coming in, and nothing happened. And I wouldn't say it's down to really, you know, a bad game plan from Gambit so much as it was like the way they're using it. It's like a backup plan, you know? If worst comes to worst, we'll use our lineups to delay time, and they never need to.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't think we need to read too much into the fact that they didn't really get much use of the utility other than the fact that they gunned them down by holding the angles and clearing the sights. Sova ult comes out now, though. Redgar is dancing around the smoke here on site. Nats down to 70 HP here. Quickly 20 HP per second because of this insane Viper wall. Russ tries to dodge the freaking Sova ult though. Doesn't find anything but tries to dodge with the jump. But gets taken out anyway.
Oh, here we go though. Nats returning another as the man advantage now swings double into Gambit. Here come the shock darts, but that's a very, very shallow plant. But they're going to catch them out anyways. Redgar, good for the side swipe to Lego, and it quickly falls apart for BBL. 7 on the board, but they're facing off against 12 as Gambit, they clock up the map and series point, looking to eliminate BBL from their run towards Masters. They want to play in Iceland, but it might end for them on Icebox.
How long have you prepared that joke?
Since I saw the veto, I was like, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that's quite something else. We should like play the Titanic flute meme for them, you know?
I know you're a big music man. See, I haven't got a drum set here, so I can't really help out. I can beatbox with some boots and cats. That's about it.
Oh, no, don't do that.
We said, you know, this is it's grim for BBL. They've got to nearly double the rounds. 5 consecutive up against Gambit, who are just on fire right now. Russ loses 2 of his knives, but the opening kill is theirs. Shados on the fall back even gets tagged up a little bit more. A couple tickles for him. And this is it. Okay, BBL, they've got the advantage, but now they've got to deal with 2 players. Already 1 down. Okay, we're certainly looking a lot stronger. Oh, no! What? The second we start to have some faith, they just get torn asunder. 2 versus 2, low HP on Russ. The spike at least planted. That's the upside here. Nats creeping his way through the halls, might even get flanked out if it wasn't for his teammate watching it. Lego down to 16 HP. And Nats is the one that's going to finish him off, taking him from above as they look for the site. They know that Russ was around the plant a moment ago, but hold on, it's actually planted inside. He's swinging in and dying to it. That's it. Gambit 13-7. They have knocked BBL out. This has been a disappointing series for the Turks as CIS prevail.
Absolutely. I think, at least personally, I thought it would be a lot closer than this. But then again, as I mentioned earlier, haven't watched that much Turkish and CIS Valorant, but Gambit here though, looking so strong.
I'm really impressed by Gambit. I've watched. Turkey has definitely taken the back foot for me a little bit, but when it comes to CIS, I mean, I'm intimately familiar with Gambit. Certainly in scrims, they are the gods that they're rumored to be, but they do it on the server as well. And that's why it almost feels, I think Ryan was saying it earlier, like calling them like scrim gods. That was their old title. That was back in the day. Like, oh, they're a good team in scrims, but we don't know how they play in officials. Now we know they play damn well in officials, and they're showing it here. FPX was a super tight game. They could have won that. Now they come in and they show that they're not messing around with close games against lesser teams. They'll only mess with the best and get rid of the rest.
Absolutely. I like how you do these rhymes all the time.
Hey, we got rhyme on the desk.
But
I've got to
yeah.
do it, you know?
Oh my god, you know what? Can we just send it back to a break or what?
No. I don't think we're going to a break this time. I think we're going to bring Sue back in, if I'm not wrong. And of course, Ryan, because we got a little bit of a chat about this one, don't we?
I am back, yeah.
Hello.
I mean, I was told to stand by, but I wasn't sure if I could go. But on a normal day, I wouldn't be saying this, but Mitch, you were only